We are on page
I just found that
98.
Like, I know it'll be, I feel like it'll get easier.
Yeah, but we're not using the one like the stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah.
Or we need to cut.
I took out my highlighter. If I do this question and you watch, you'd be like, okay, I could do that. Then when you go to do this question on your own and you read it, you forget what words mean, and then you're stuck and aren't able to do it at all. So I highlight the word that gets people stuck. For which values of the variable is each radical defined? What are they asking for? When they're asking for where something is defined, they're asking where is it possible? What is the domain? We're looking for what x values are possible, what x values are not possible. And in fact, when asking where something is possible, you often also ask the opposite question, where is it not possible? Is it ever not possible? Is a really good question. So when I look at part A, I have a square root. In mathematics, are there any things you're not allowed to square root? You're not allowed to square root negative numbers. So now our question is, will the inside ever be negative? I have 27x squared. Can you pick a number for x that would make it negative inside? Negative 1, negative 2. What happens when I square negative 2? I get positive 4, and then 4 times 27, still a positive number. Negative 2 is fine. I can plug in negative 2 because it'll still be positive inside the square root. Is there any number that will make it negative inside? Not in this case. So where is it possible? Everywhere. What is its domain? Everywhere. How do we write everywhere for the domain? You can either write it like this, or in interval notation, like that. So when it's asking where is it defined, it's defined for everything. Okay. Square roots, fourth roots, sixth roots, any even root can't be negative inside. You will love the odd root questions. Because if it's a cube root, a fifth root, and it says where is it defined, you will be able to say everywhere, every single time without thinking. Because you can cube root negatives, you can cube root 0, you can cube root positive numbers. But if it's an even index, it can't be negative inside. So then the second one is asking, where is it defined? Okay? It can never be negative inside. Can you think of a number that you could plug in for x that would be bad?
4.
4. Because 4 cubed would be 64. And then that 64 gets multiplied by the negative 12, making a negative answer inside, so 4 is bad. 5 is bad. There's a whole bunch of ones that are bad. Can you characterize all the bad ones?
Every positive number.
Every positive number is bad. Every negative number will be good. So in a lot of these defined questions, you're going to find that you just have to think about positive numbers will do one thing, negative numbers do another thing. In this case, the negative numbers are good. Is 0 good?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can always square root, cube root, fourth root, 0. Because it's going to equal 0. So in this case, the negative ones are good. We would write that it's defined when x is less than or equal to 0. You could also write this in interval notation like that. Those are two different ways to write the same thing. Either x has to be less than or equal to 0, which is the same thing as saying everything starting at negative infinity and going up to 0 and including 0, that square bracket says infinity. With infinity, we always write a round bracket. And then depending on what language you speak, they change the brackets. It's true. Like French writes it this way. They use backwards brackets. So all your French immersion friends taking the same thing, you're looking at their notes, you're like, what the heck is that? That's just a French translation of round bracket to square bracket. I don't know. Spanish, do you know?
No, we do it the wrong way.
You do the round? Okay. So depending on the language, the brackets change. Okay, that is defined. If you get to a quiz or a test and you put up your hand and you read the question, you say, what is defined? I'm like, I'm sorry, this is a quiz or a test. I have video proof that I told you that you need to know what that means. So that's why I highlight those things, because I know that there's going to be a place where you get stuck on a question. Because it's like, and it's not math that you're stuck on. It's English words. Part of learning any subject matter is learning the language of that subject matter. And that's kind of like learning English. So knowing what the words mean is really helpful for knowing what to do mathematically. And I will always try to point out those things where you might get stuck. All right, I'll stop the video there.